Before we do the installation of the software to create our security manager, we probably ought to take a moment and talk about what the security manager does. So in our topology right here, we have a PC on this 192.168.1 network. The PC is at .120, and I've got a computer here at .110 that's going to act as our security manager in our checkpoint environment. And it's going to have the IP address of .110. So regarding planning, that's where we're going to have this device in our topology. Now, the second thing we should talk about is, what does this security manager do for us? And that's a good question. What we're going to do is we are going to interact from our PC here with the security manager, and this is where we'll configure policies and change settings, and then the security manager will in turn push those policies out to the firewalls that it's currently managing. And that is referred to as a distributed deployment, where the device being the manager is a separate entity or a separate appliance than the actual firewalls. And it is possible in a small organization to have a standalone deployment. And that's where we have the security manager and the firewall all on one appliance or one device. However, in the lab, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use a distributed deployment, and we'll install the security manager software here on this host at .110. So in preparation for that, I've got the machine all ready to go, and I've got a DVD with checkpoint R80 in that CD/DVD drive for this virtual machine. And all we're going to do is we're going to boot this machine, have it boot off the CD, and then walk through the steps to tell it we want to install the software. So starting here on the computer that's going to be our security manager, we'll go ahead and power on this machine. And here it's booted to the DVD that's in its drive. So we'll go ahead and we're going to click in this space and then move the arrow key up to select Install Gaia on this system. And with that selected, we'll go ahead and press Enter. And to continue with the installation, we'll make sure that OK is selected, and we'll press Enter. I'm going to select the US keyboard and press Enter. Let's accept the defaults for the partition information, and I'm going to supply the lab password, and then press Enter for OK. Now, the Security Manager appliance has two interfaces at the moment. We're just going to use Ethernet 0 for a while, so we'll go ahead and we'll tab down to OK and press Enter. And based on the plan, the IP address of this manager is going to be 192.168.1.110. So we'll supply that. We're going to accept the 24-bit mask, and we'll specify a default gateway of whatever the current default gateway is, which in this topology at this moment, it's at .1. We'll hit Tab a couple times and press Enter to continue. Now we have a friendly warning that says, hey, if we're about to continue, we're going to format your drives. So I'm going to hit Tab over to OK, and then press Enter to continue. So here it's indicating that we need to go ahead and reboot, so we can press Enter to go ahead and reboot the system. And when it comes back, we can do the initial configuration of this security manager by opening up a browser and going to https:// and the IP address we just gave it of 192.168.1.110. So we'll go ahead and press Enter to continue, and we'll save the actual initial config with the web UI for a separate nugget. So in this nugget, we took a look at the basic concept of how the security manager fits in to a checkpoint topology. We also took a look at the installation of the software on the device that's going to be the security manager. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.